So, welcome to the final episode of my traveling adventure. And this one's going to be a little different. I want to talk about the tips and tricks that will help you if you want to plan your own cycling trip. So, let's get into it. So, the first tip or trick, and probably the most important, is do not carry too much stuff. Simple. Don't do this. Do not do this at all. And you want to do this. This is good. This is great. The way you should pack your bag is to pack it, unpack it, pack it again, unpack it, pack it again, and then maybe one more time. Just make sure you take the least amount of possible things, because any amount of weight you can save is going to be good. You want to just carry the least amount possible, especially when you're going up hills, up and down hills, up mountains, on busy roads. Just really trim down the amount of things you take and the amount of things you pack. So that's number one. So tip number 2 is pick your bike wisely. Now, me and Joe both had our problems with our bikes. Mine was a little better, we think. But obviously, don't pick a bike like this. Obviously not. It's not suitable for a big, long journey. You want to pick a bike like this with everything you need and everything compact. So, yeah, you know, the water bottles, the pump, the panniers here. Maybe this bike has too much stuff. So maybe you want to reduce. So maybe you say to this, no, to this, no. But overall, just pick your bike wisely and maybe not pack it so much like this picture. Tip number 3, and it's not so much a tip, just something you need to know, and that is how to fix a puncture. Now, you don't need a huge amount of experience or expertise in fixing your bike, but knowing how to fix a puncture and fix it quickly is needed. So before you leave, I recommend either taking a small course where you can learn about maybe fixing the stuff like gears, like the gears here, or the gears here, or the brakes, depending where they are, here, where you can learn a little bit more. But the least you need to know is how to fix the puncture. A tip that I recommend is just watching some YouTube videos, at least on how to fix a puncture. Punctures will happen. They will happen a lot. So get practice in before you go, and you'll thank me. Tip number 4 is learn how to adapt. Now, this could mean lots of different things, but just be prepared to change plans. So your plan is to go this way, but you go this way instead. Like me and Joe, we didn't plan to take the train, but we ended up taking the train. Me and Joe didn't plan everything, and we just adapted with the situation. We didn't plan on only being able to bike 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. in France, for example, but the heat wave basically made it so we had to. So we adapted and we changed our plans. And yeah, if you have that mindset of learning to adapt and being free to switch things up, change things, different routes, different paths, then your trip will be a lot better. And tip number 5 is simply don't be afraid. You can do it, and you don't need that much money. Yes, you need a bike, of course, but me and Joe, we ate cheaply, we camped wildly, nearly always, and so we really didn't need that much money. So the only thing stopping you is time, obviously, time, but also just your fears of where to stay, where to go, which direction, which roads to take. What happens if the bike breaks? What happens if my wheel falls off? Don't worry about it. You will figure things out. You will fix any problems that happen, and you will adapt. Like I said in the previous slide, you will adapt and you will learn, and you will learn quickly about what works for you, what doesn't. So yeah, that is tip number 5. Don't be afraid, just do it. And that is it for the series. Now, I can't recommend this trip or a trip like this or a cycle trip like this enough. It's exciting and thrilling and a test and a challenge. You will have good days, you'll have great days, and you will have bad days. Me and Joe sometimes fought, but then we sometimes hugged and loved each other and just had a great experience. So, yeah, that is it. Hopefully, this can inspire you to take on your own trip. So, cool. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.